So really what the Transport Minister is talking about is allowing local municipalities to take real control of their metro rail systems. He's also spoken about this white paper, giving the green light to the private sector, getting on board to help fix our rail system. And the Minister mentioning Cape Town there. Let's bring in our reporter Ronald Masinda, who's also been focusing on the issue of transport today. Good evening to you, Ronald. So just talk to us a little bit more about what you've been looking at when it comes to public transport in Cape Town.
Well, Sally, according to the City of Cape Town, the My City bus service has been a resounding success, and they want to use that as a springboard to perhaps attract more people to travel by bus. But not only that, but also under their radar is the rail system. And to be fair to say, Sally, the Central Line is in shambles. I mean, we are in Netrig train station where many people who are here in this area use it as a drug den. I mean, a short while ago we caught a few kids smoking drugs. I must say we're also accompanied by law enforcement. It is also not a safe area. We are joined now by Angus Mackenzie, a local councillor, who will walk us through some of the issues here at the station. Angus, thank you so much for your time. Fair to say, Angus, that this looks like a war zone. Why?
No, I think it's worse than a war zone. I think it's a place that no one's ever going to come to. It's a place that nothing's ever going to come out of. But I think let's look at the solution first. Let's understand what the solution is. The solution is let's hand this over to a competent function of government that's willing to not only see trains run, but make it an economic activity that sees job creation and economic activity start again. And so I'm really glad that national government seems to agree with the City of Cape Town that, quite frankly, the city should be running rail and ensuring that we get rail back up and running. This line should be servicing over 700,000 people. More than, I'd say about two-thirds of those people are now using two-thirds of their disposable income on more expensive forms of public transport, like taxis and buses. And so while we've shown great success with My City, I think it's important also to note that that same success we will be able to show when we start getting these trains to run again. But up until this point, there's been really no willingness from PRASA to do anything about the situation. They've left us to decay, and it's quite sad that a rail system that was once the lifeblood of poorer communities, that ensured jobs were created, that ensured that people earned a good salary and were able to live because it's the cheapest form of transport, has just collapsed in front of our eyes.
Let me come in there. You said you met up with PRASA earlier this week. What was said?
So PRASA's got some sort of plan to get trains back onto the Central Line. It's really sad that the Minister of Transport has been to Langa, but he's never been to Netrig and he's never been to Bonteheuwel. And so their plan effectively is to replace all the overhead cables, replace all the tracks that have been removed, but leaving gaps and leaving it wide open for vandals to continue. And I think we must highlight that vandals have played a big part in creating the mess that we're also seeing here. I think the basic plan here is to continue the wall project that was once planned, to see a wall throughout the Central Line, then start the refurbishing project of getting the lines up, getting the tracks up. So PRASA is very confused at the moment.
Very quickly, what makes the city think that they will right the wrongs of PRASA?
I think let's look at it. Everything that the city has done around public transport has effectively worked. We brought the My City bus system into place. We've been able to run various programs with taxi organizations. We've been able to put taxi organizations in partnership with other taxis and other modes of transport organizations to form My City. So if you look at our track record, it's quite clear that if we were able to do that with an unregulated industry like the taxi industry, we quite frankly would be able to do a much better job than what we've seen PRASA do here.
All right, Angus, thank you so much for your time. Well, Sally, that was very confident Angus Mackenzie, and basically sharing the same sentiments as many other Cape Town or City of Cape Town officials, saying that the City of Cape Town is the answer to the issues faced here at the Central Line. It is a Central Line that hundreds and thousands of people were relying on previously, but since it has been badly damaged in a number of train stations, many people have to find other forms of transport, and this, Sally, has caused a lot of issues, especially in terms of congestion on the N1s and N2s going into town.
I mean, it's evident the absolute neglect and decay at the Central Line. It's quite shocking to see. Let's hope. I'm sure most Cape Town residents don't really care who gets involved as long as it starts functioning again. Are there any timelines that have been given to you, Ronald?
So the last time we spoke to Minister Fikile Mbalula, one of the main issues was obviously COVID-19 and the impact and people being unable to start working on the Central Line. But I must say the Central Line has been revived a bit in terms of from Cape Town to Old Mutual. But further than that, I mean, Langa train station, there are still people living along the tracks. And that's also another conversation for another day, because many people who've been living along the railway lines are refusing to move unless they are provided water and sanitation and accommodation, alternative accommodation, which they will be happy with. So many challenges ahead for PRASA or whoever will be assigned to revive the rail infrastructure, especially here on the Central Line.
Thank you so much, Ronald Masinda, coming to us from the Central Line in Cape Town.